This is Echoo Room, and of course, we talk about every single thing, and we get to know these people, particularly artists, in extra details. It's a conversation that you definitely want to listen to and be a part of. And of course, today, the energy's way up high. I'm talking about one and only King Perry's in the building. How you feeling, my G?
What's good, my people? Continental boy there.
Yeah. I forgot Continental boy.
Yeah.
All right, man. It's nice to have you here. I mean, the turn for this conversation, there's a whole lot. There's a whole lot.
Yeah.
But first, let's even just kick off on your background. Early life. What was your immediate environment? Not in a vague sense, but in a literal sense, experiences at early stages.
Yeah, I was born in South Side. I was born in Port Harcourt. I grew up in Port Harcourt. And I went to a seminary school.
Okay.
You know, I'm supposed to be a priest.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's my life while growing up in the South Side is basically it meant everything to me because those are that time just made me who I am, today because, the struggle.
What social class would you categorize yourself with the knowledge you have of today, right? What social class would you categorize your upbringing?
Social class, I would say.
Are you guys really rich or?
Nah, in the middle, but I know one thing, my dad gave me the best education, that's one thing. I went to one of the best schools, while growing up, and that's something that my dad would always be very interested in. If you don't give you anything when you're out, but if you tell us you won't buy a book, money to come out.
So did you at any point?
No.
Okay.
I was good. I was good.
So how were you good? Yeah.
Probably once I knew.
Once. So once in a while you lied about.
Not really lie, but I just had to do what I had to do.
What did you have to do?
To just say what I need.
So what did you need?
Money.
And then it wasn't given, so you said...
they got spoiled amount too. Yes, now.
And then he gave you the money and you chopped it.
He's an entire studio.
Oh, okay. So how early did you start making music? Really early. I'm not talking about the official first release.
Yeah, but I started making music late 13,
13?
Yeah, I started making music I started from seminary school, and I started with my friend, then O Square, my friend Michael, and from there, I took it serious. It became something that I could see the passion for it. After I left the seminary school, I had my friends that would always go to the studio and come to the house, and I already was using my laptop then, a very big laptop my uncle got me, to make beats, and I would just admire the hustle of my other friends, going to the studio, and coming back to play me the music they made,
Is it that you couldn't afford to go to the studio?
At that point, 5,000 naira for a session, even with Abeg, this is what I was talking about. I was talking about 2012, 2013, and big shout out to Uncle G-Deg, he's someone who took me in. I spoke to him. I was like, look, I don't have money to pay you, but I could actually clean the studio, I could come to the studio, make it clean, and just buy for, use it. But when it's time to mix, I could then hustle money to pay you to mix, and he was he gave me that opportunity to come work in the studio at whatever time, so that was how my journey started, because that was how I started finding myself, if I wanted to rap, if it was wanted to sing, where I knew that I was strong enough in, and that's how I just found my sound, From
True.
there I moved I got admission into university.
Before we even get there, you were actually cleaning the studio for studio time.
Yeah, I'll come to the studio, clean it, make sure the studio is... I wasn't even doing it because, I needed it for studio time. I was basically doing it because whenever I'm in the studio, I like the place to be. Do you understand? So that's like something I would want to just randomly do when I'm in the studio.
It wasn't because he said so.
Yeah, like no, like I told him that I was going to be doing that anyway. You get like I wanted to be doing that, like whenever I'm in the studio, like I want to, help, whatever it is, just I wanted to be close to him as a friend, although he was like my senior, so like, and he gave me that chance, he's someone that like I really like respect a lot, and he's a great, like when it comes to mixing and sound engineering, he's someone that I know is very good and he's back in Port Harcourt, he's helped a lot of people and grow, like a lot of legends today.
Who else has he worked with?
He's worked with like the South guys, like even Ajabo Hustlers, Somadin. I don't know if you know about Somadin, the one who went to Big Brother,
Yes.
Yeah. A lot of us around that point, he's really done a lot for us. And I mean, that's how my career started,
Did you know these guys at any point?
Yeah, we'd see. Yeah, like we'd hear about like ourselves, in Port Harcourt, yeah. Like
who blew first?
I think while I was in like secondary school or like I think like final year, I think then like Ajabo Hustlers, they just dropped a new song. Then it was Tumbo Music. This one na Tumbo Music, ololo. Yeah, so I think I was in final year in secondary school where like my SS3 when I heard that song, and it was crazy because I was just like, I'm a big fan of them, I've been listening to them from like Port Harcourt days, and and then before we became friends, we met, and we just locked in, won the band.
It's weird that you guys don't have a song together yet.
We have.
Released?
They actually have a song featuring me, Tanana.
Oh, the one they have featuring you.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And we actually have some couple of like songs already that like we've just been working on, we have a lot of songs we've been working on.
Okay. Now let's even move a lot further. Now you have a studio. You're making these songs at then. But what type of music were you making
at that time? I think I was rapping that time.
So you're one of those.
Yeah. I think.
As a rapper.
Yeah, I think I was rapping, but like I'm not gonna lie to you, I was not really satisfied with my rap. Like I was rapping, I was good. I could, go crazy on the beat, but like I saw this guy that really like, my friend, like he was so good at it. Like we would do freestyles together.
It made you feel inferior.
At that point, I just felt like if I can't be the best at what I do, there's no need to do it. So that's why I was like, here, like today, I'm actually going to stop rapping because of you. I didn't really tell him that, but like I actually stopped rapping because of him because I just felt like he was too good.
So where is he now?
He's no more rapping.
What's he doing?
I think he's like managing someone now.
Oh wow, what a turn!
Yeah, to me, like I just felt like I needed to stop and find my sound. I needed to find that thing that I know that this is me. I'm original. Like this, whenever you hear it, like okay, this guy has a sound. This is this guy. Like you can't.
Does that explain your versatile nature or what? Yeah,
like that explains like me as a whole. Like it doesn't matter like whatever I'm doing. Like while finding my sound, I was finding my sound not even with the beat. Like it was not more about the beat at that time. It was just me. I was looking for like an originality that, once I come on the beat, you can't say no. Like like okay, this is King Perry. That's what I was looking for, and that's what I got. Like, and every day I keep working on it. Every day, like, I'm getting better at it. And once, like, my album "Citizen of the World," like, I said something. I was like, once, whatever it is, like, this is me making certain music, to like connect to the world. That there's no boundaries to my music. As long as it hits my soul, I'm speaking to the world. It doesn't matter what type of music it is, R&B, reggae, dancehall, drill. But it's going to be once it's coming from my soul, you're gonna relate.
Okay. Now moving a lot further, you're a lot wiser, older, and stuff, and there's a different trajectory. That's in reference to after the whole secondary school living and all of that.
Yeah.
At what point did you make that final decision? You know what? I think I'm gonna really face music. And how did your folks accept it?
They were not accepting it at first because it was hard. Like coming from like...
What were you supposed to end up doing?
Like,
If it was left to
I was supposed to be an engineer then. I got into school and I did like project management, but that from like the moment I got into school, I knew that like I was just doing this because I wanted to give like, I just wanted to have myself a certificate. I promised my
You
parents.
knew that from the first year.
Yeah, I knew like whatever I was doing, it has to be directed to my music.
Didn't you have doubts? Like, oh, you know,
I didn't. That's the thing. I didn't
like,
have
what
doubts.
If I just, I mean, no blow go.
Like there was nothing like what if for me at that point. Like I wasn't even thinking about what if. All I was thinking about was I need to do this. Like I want to do it. I'm hungry to do it. Like whatever chance I get, I want to do it. Like I would go from school to go sleep in town on the floor, you know, with my guys just so I could record. You know, I was doing it constantly and I would leave like school to Lagos. Like I was doing that back to back, you know, because
where did you school?
Futo, Federal University of Technology, Owerri.
So you would leave Owerri to come to Lagos?
Yes, no. After working, like I grind, like get some money, you know.
What were
I
you
did
doing
say
at
like
the time?
in school, like I'll just make beats and sell like it's like 8K. I just make beats and sell like, or just pocket money and save, you know, just save. And when like we're done with exams, that's when I'll tell my parents that we're writing exams. And stay like 2 weeks in Lagos. I think my father found out because my parents are like really strict. So like as someone who like while growing up, I felt like I was never gonna leave the four walls of my house. You know, so like that basically just I had to move like that because I saw that it wasn't like this was not what I wanted. I don't want it to be. I didn't want to be at home, and I told my parents that I wanted to leave, but they were like. So at that point, I was like, "Yo, you know, like you can't aim freedom, you gain freedom." So like at that point, I just like said I was gonna do what I have to do to just leave, and then finally, like I had to come back to my parents with some guy like my friend who wanted to like. Do like the business with me at that point, you know. So like I just told him that first, before we want to do this thing, let's go and see my father. So like we had to go like, you know when you're going to see like a man because you want to marry the wife or something like that. Yes. Because you want to marry the daughter or something, you have to buy. Yeah, we had to. I told him like we have to buy things. So like. So we have to go because my father, as someone like, my father was so disciplined, like, I don't really want wahala with him. So he did that and we came, you know, he spoke to my dad and told my dad that we really want to take this music thing serious, you know, and do business with it. And my dad was like, well, this is what he wants and you can bring someone that you know, okay, this is who you're going to do business with. Well, you guys should do it.
Did they invest?
Yeah, but we stopped at some point. Like he was someone who had passion for it. You know, shout out to Luke Baron. He had passion for it, but at that time, like there was just times where, like it was not just working between us. Like, and I knew what I wanted, and
you left.
We didn't sign anything, you know, and it was just one song we dropped, and I was like, so many things happened for him, like, and he had to focus on what he had to do, but he wanted me to like still do me, you know, with the whole label thing. But I knew that, I just needed to move, you know, like there was so much I wanted for myself at that point.
And this was what year?
This was like in 2018. No, not 2018. This was like in 2016, 2015. Mm-hmm. Yeah, 2016, 2015. Yeah, so after that time, I just, you know, started doing my thing, my friend, just recording in the studio. That was another phase of me finding out my sound, you know. I was working, like I was supposed to do my IT and the 6 months IT in school, and I just left school at that point, you know, and I was in the guy's house for like 1 year, and it was just, he built like a studio. That was one very good thing, you know, he did too. And I was in the studio 24/7, like sleeping, waking up, praying, just waking up. Like I was just always working, you know, recording. Like, you know, times would come where like I have like a mental breakdown, and all I'll just do is play my music. And
why were you experiencing?
I mean, I feel like as human beings, we, you know, it's like there's a drawing of a car. And we really want to push that car from the drawing board and we want it to move. And when you're feeling like you just make, the more better you get, the more harder it is for you because you really want this thing to go outside. So I was working, and at that point I was waiting for him to get with the whole program so we could push, but it wasn't coming along. So at that point I was just recording, but I said something to myself. I was like, I wouldn't put out this, my music at that point until I knew that I was ready for this shit. So I was going to use that time for the betterment of myself. And I was working on myself, I kept on working. I'm still working on myself, but it was great. Everything turned out good.
So at what point did you get to the discoverable stage, right? What were the events that led to you being an option to be signed by, anybody at the time?
I don't even know how it happened, because the truth is,
till now, don't know now.
Yeah, so I know now, but at that point, yeah, I didn't even see it from that side. It was me, I got at that point, he got interested in my sound just hearing a song I was featured in. The first person.
Yo, the first guy.
Yeah.
No, I'm even talking about later on after that guy.
Oh.
Because, you can't say your story without a certain figure in the mix, a certain artist personality. I'm talking about Timaya.
Oh, okay. So I'm still it's still coming. Yeah.
Yeah.
So after that, I had to go back to school after my IT, and just work to final year, grind to final year, school and all that, and my final year, I was in school, and I remember my manager, Bilo, when he was managing me then, he told me something. He was like, yo, there's a show. It's called Basement Gig. Yeah, and I don't know if you want to come for this, but you have exams. I was writing exams. I didn't have paper that day and the next day, but I had the other day, the upper day.
This is in a way.
Yes. So he was like, do you want to come for it, or do you want to just write your exams? And I looked at it. I told him I was going to come for it. So what I had to do was, I had to get on a bus the next morning, down to Lagos. It was scary because the roads are really bad, and we hear there's all sorts of news happening on the roads.
Definitely.
So I just told myself, I was well, God, if this is for me, nothing's gonna happen to me. I'm just gonna do this. So that I was small. So I told him I was gonna come. I got on the bus, went to Lagos, and I dropped my bag at the gate, basement gate, and I went in already dressed, and I told he introduced me to Osage. Osage was like, yo, I listen to your music. That's Osage that's my mama.
Yeah,
so she's like, I love your music, and I want to see you perform today. And I performed, and I think she tweeted, was like, I'm officially a King Perry fan, and I was in Lagos. I went back to school after doing that. I went back to school the next day, dropped my bags at the classroom, go into the hall, wrote my exams. Yeah, and just kept doing my thing.
Graduate with?
I think I did 2-2. Yeah.
Almost every entertainer did 2-2.
Yeah, I did 2-2.
Other than 2 Chainz.
And I was one thing I was excited that I didn't have carryovers. I didn't get to
so
come back.
Yeah,
straight. So after that, she one day I was back in Lagos and my friend's house, and I was just there grinding, trying to play my music for people, just trying to get people to listen to my music. And I remember someone telling me while I sent the person my music, and the person was like someone well known in the industry, and the person was like, your sound is going to speak for you. And that was the last time I sent someone my music. I just true, my sound will speak for me. And I just started working again.
But how would your sound speak for you if you're not putting it in the places that people would hear it?
Exactly. So but I think that did motivate me in a very great way. Because
who said that?
The person I was
what's the person not get name?
I don't think I want to call the person's name. Yeah. I don't want to call the person's name.
Why?
Nah, nothing. This person. No, nothing. I just wanted to be like that. Nah. I just wanted to be like that. So
you and the guy they quarrel?
No, at all.
Okay.
I I just don't feel like it's
Okay. No, single is cool.
Yeah.
I respect your feelings.
Yeah, so like I went back, working, and one Sunday, my manager just called me then. It was like, yo, there's a meeting by 8, by 6 p.m. If you come 6:01, go back home. I said, this
Who's
one
now?
below. I was
Okay.
like, this one below is telling me this thing. I was like, well, okay. 5:30, I got like ready, left the house. 5:40 or 45, I was like at the place he told me. So we got in the car, we were just waiting. I was like, what happened? He was like, no, just don't worry. Let's just be going. We were there. Next thing, Timaya came out. And I was like, look at Timaya. He was like, yeah. He stayed around. And the next thing, he walked to like the car I was in and knocked. I was like, Perry, how far now? I was cold. I was cold. And I looked at him. I was like, good evening. He was like, yeah, come out. I looked at my manager. My manager was like, yeah, we are coming to see him. I'm like, okay. I was still shocked. I saw Sage. I was like, oh, okay, what's this about? And we went upstairs, and he was like, my manager, like, he told me to come with like 5 like songs in my flash. And I sent it to my, like, we played it there. And the moment he heard it, he was like, are you in school? I was like, yeah. And he was like, yeah, we have to sign before you go back, but like after you go through the contract.
You have to sign before you go back to school.
Yeah. And he was like, after you're done like going through the contract, and he was like, take your time. And he was like, take your time, go through the contract. If there's anything you don't like, let me know. And at that point, that's something I did. I was opportune to have like, really great people around me, like that just did things for me because of how much they saw like I was good at like the music and everything, So my lawyer now, like Mr. Ayo, went through the contract and said some things that we were not cool with. And I told him, he was like, they should get it immediately, like sort it out. And it was good. I signed and I went back to school. He was like, go and finish your school, and after like I finished, my mom was always telling me that, yo, you see this music thing you're doing, you're not going to, I'm not trying to wish you bad, but like until you finish your school, before anything was going to work for you. And I'll be angry when she says that. And after that, like, it flashed back, like, after I got my certificate, like, after the month I graduated.
The person was about to sign, you just said...
Yeah, Jonathan, go to school, finish, like, come back. So after I signed, I went to school, like, finished my exams, came back to Lagos the next day. That night, I think that was on, like, I came back on 24th December. The next night was Christmas. Was it on Christmas? No, next night, I came back, like, 30th. 31st, I went to church. I crossover night. I came back home. I recorded Man on Duty. It's the kind of life I ever wanted. Money, power, moves, and endorsement. I want the girl. This what is Jonathan. So I made Man on Duty, and we are still contemplating on the record to go out. And the moment I sent Timaya that one, I was like, this is it.
Yeah, but when did you okay, Man on Duty was first.
2018.
Yes.
I graduated. Like, that's when I graduated.
And then when was Work and Grind?
So Work and Grind was in 2019.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it was Man on Duty and Eastern Baby in 2018. And Work and Grind dropped with like Mother.
Yes.
I dropped 2 songs at the same time.
Yes.
Yeah. And it's been growing. Like, I've been writing, since then. Yeah.
It kind of feels like, you're one of my favorite artists.
I appreciate it.
I think
Thank
you know that. But it kind of feels like all the songs at that point were supposed to be hits, but just didn't hit.
Yeah.
But they were not unknown.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Personal playlists, they were present.
Yeah.
Every media outfit, it was bigger than Payola or what it was.
Yeah.
Everybody genuinely fell in love with the record, but just didn't blast.
Yeah.
Why?
So I was
truth.
that, like, for real, like, I'm gonna say, like, there's certain things that I learned, while like I feel like being with Timaya, I was with Timaya to learn. And that's something he would always tell me. You know, we would work, and he would always tell me certain things of, you know, like, like it's not really about what we're working. Like, to me, I didn't have like a deal to my level. It was more like a senior brother thing, you know, like. Timaya, you know, would not even want to sign. Like, if Timaya likes you, like, if you know about it, he would not want to give you a contract. He would just want to do it. Like, let's, you know, whatever you need, let's just go. Do you understand? But you have to understand that it's your career. You have to push it. Do you understand? So, like, the stuff that he did his, you know, very best, you know, and that's like till today. I go to him. Like, he's one of my biggest inspiration.
He at some point, what was that news at the time that he bought you a car or something?
Yeah, like, that's someone, like, that's how it is, you know. He would, if he, whatever you like, he's the kind of person that would be with you and say, like,
did you ask for
like
the car?
Nah. No.
He just bought
I think it was we were one night, because normally sometimes me and him would drive and we just go somewhere and just sit out and drink and just chill and we just talk. Do you get? So I think one night we were going out and I saw a car. I was like, damn. And he looked at me, I was like, what? I said, like, that's crazy. He's like, you like it? I was like, yeah, that's mad. Like, randomly, like, we see cars and we're like, bro, look at this. Like, that's like, we're like, we are like that. We're that close, you know? So, and he was like, cool. And one time I think I went for a show and I got back and he just told me that, yo, come to the house. I came to the house and I saw the same car outside.
The exact same car?
Yeah, same, like, color.
He bought you the exact same car that you said you liked.
Yeah, like, randomly. So, like, so, like, that's the part. I was like, wow. You know, so, like, to me, my relationship with him has never really been, like, I came into, like, the industry, you know, and I learned on the job, you know. For the 3 years I was with him, I was learning, like, you know, and Timaya is a legend first, you know. It's someone who the time he blew up in the industry, there was like literally no structure, like it was him, you know. So he's someone that moves like that, you know. He tells you like, yo, just make the music and push the music, you know. Do you understand? Whatever available funds that's made for you, use it to your own, you know, what you could do with it. And basically that's how, like, our, like, conversation has been.
So
and
if it was all that great, why did you leave?
So, like, at that point, like, after my contract and was done, and I feel like there's certain things that needed to happen, you know, with me. Like, I learned, I understood to a certain point, you know.
You left.
I learned.
Did you leave?
My contract was done, and I told him, I was like, I want to do this.
Did you want to resign?
So like, the thing there is, because one thing about me, I don't really like to come out to speak about certain things. I just really want to push. I really want to make my music and grow and just keep going German. Like, that's me. I want to make my music and just keep growing, you know. Regardless, it's a journey, you know. So at that point, my album was gonna drop, you know, and I think that was like during the whole, you know, pandemic thing.
Yeah.
And I was working on my album before the pandemic, but like it was actually doing, like, the whole thing was just moving crazy, small. I was working on my album and I was like, yo, like, I'm ready to, like, you know, put out this stuff right now. And at that point he was like, you know what? You could do it so and so time. You could do it so and so time. And one thing I respect Timaya for is, like, creative freedom. He lets me do what I want to do, you know. So he was like, you could do it this time, you could do it that time. Like, but I don't think it's the best time right now because there's so many things like I'm handling right now, you know. It's just him. And I understand that. So, like, I was like, it's fine. Like, whatever way you want to support, you can support. Like, I'm gonna do this thing with my team. Do you understand? So like, but regardless, I'm still in the contract. So like, we're good. Do you understand? Whatever way it's gonna play out, I want to put it out the time I want to put it out. But don't worry, like I'm gonna do my team. Whatever way you want to support me, and I'm just still gonna do it. So Citizen of the World.
There were no grievances, issues, quarrels.
Nah, like that's me. Like obviously we will always have conversations, and it's basically like I'm a young boy. Like I would always be like restless. Like I'll do my thing, you get. So there will always be like conversation about like, no, that's not how to move. That's not how to move. Like you have to. Do you understand? And it's gonna be fun, But for that project, Citizen of the World, like, was pushed like with me and my team, but I didn't have to say anything to anybody, I was just doing my thing. I understood that, after that.
Was that the first drop of blood that turned you? Was that the taste that really made you feel,
No, like
I feel like I want to be alone?
No, like it didn't make me feel like I was gonna be alone. I knew that I was gonna be alone. I knew that I was ready for it because like this is what he has like trained me to be. Do you understand? He is alone. So he's not trying to bring out someone who's trying to depend on. Do you understand? He wants me to learn that way. So I knew I was going to be alone regardless, because we always have conversation, and you're like, very soon you're going to be a businessman and you start doing your stuff. Do you understand? So like, I knew I was going to do all these things. So I'm proud that I pushed my album myself. I didn't really get to like speak to anybody to say, but it's not easy. But like, from like the Season of the World project, and the contract is done, and I had like with my team, I had Continental. Continental is basically my baby. I've been all my life. It's been what I've been, bringing up, and it started, and it's like that's how close we are, because he's like, oh, this is your Continental. How do you want to do it? Like we talk about it, and I'm like, he's like, let's go. Do you understand? And Go German is like the first single off, off the label, the Continental like family, and it's actually going.
So at the moment, to be clear, you have your own label now.
Yes.
And it's called what?
Continental Music.
Okay, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, you're a label owner and an artist under the label, it seems very Nigerian half the time, but in same vein, doesn't that clash with one's desires and futuristic views?
How?
I'm sure that at some point you want to sign other artists under the label. Yes, because business is business.
Well, right now, I'm using my platform to promote myself. And
why? Does that get you more money?
Like, obviously you're gonna make more money, but like, it's really not about the money right now for me. Like, I want the world to listen to my music, and I mean, right now it's exciting to see how the music industry is going. Like, right now you could do what you want and still be like independent. You could get like your deals and all that. You can still be independent. So I mean, it's amazing right now. I'm growing myself. I'm building myself, to get that to that level of.
What's the worst moment for you in being in the industry so far?
The worst moment.
Genuine worst moment.
I think, I don't know if like the way I am, I don't know if I can't think of. The only thing that could put my mind on right now is basically the point. Is actually crazy, It's basically the point before I'm about to put out music, the mixing, getting the whole process ready. And I think before I drop my first project, it stressed the hell out of me because I had migraines, like serious migraines for like 2 months.
Oh, really?
Every morning, like I would wake up to like migraines, like crazy. I couldn't even look at the light, like it was bad. Like I would sleep with like glasses on, like dark shades, because it was crazy. I couldn't listen to music loud. Like I tried to treat it like with Panadol or something, but at that point,
You
like I tried to
treat it.
no, like I tried to take like all sorts of painkillers.
You did not think of going to the hospital.
I went to the hospital. I treated, like the doctor spoke about me stressing myself, you know, and he, like, that was the point where I knew that it was not even about medicine anymore. It was more about me getting to understand myself. And, you know, that's when I started trying to meditate, you know, do all them stuff. Because
you doing yoga now?
what? No, like I meditate, you know, but that's the point where I needed to, like, I started controlling my mind, you know, and that meditation helped me, you know. And at that point, I would have to, like, I had to reset my nervous system, something like that. It was crazy. I read it in the, like, online, you know. I had to Google, I had to go join a group of people that had migraines. And I saw that, and someone was like, your nervous system did reset. So the things that you do and that you sustain yourself for like hours, you could get uncomfortable in 2 seconds because your nervous system is bad.
Yeah.
Like, you get so, and the only way to correct it is you have to feel like there's no pain. So like, do those same things you do, but don't feel like. So I had to like meditate to be correct it, and you know, after a while it went. So yeah, it worked. And you know, sometimes if I stress myself, it starts again. If I have to calm down, and you know, this is our business. You gotta be on your.
Maybe you should check again with the doctor.
Yeah, but I'm good now.
Okay.
I'm good, and it was really, really stressed at that point, you know, because I was doing so much, and I wanted to see. I'm someone like, I won't say perfectionist, but I want things to always be premium from my art. You know, whatever I'm doing, whether it's painting or singing, I want it to be like premium, you know. So with the music, you know, from mixing to the project, having like, you know, Teflon Zinc fans, you know, the Grammy Award like winner, Chronix producer.
Now, Go German's released.
Yeah.
I mean, I knew it was going to be big, but not as big as it is at the moment. The release strategy was great.
Yeah.
It was great.
Yeah.
And it worked.
It worked.
I've seen a lot of people try to use that, and it worked. Whose idea was that?
My team. They're like amazing people. We
like the person will be watching this and saying, "But bro, I brought this idea. Which one is my team?"
Yeah, like so, like well, it's regardless, it's my team.
Yeah,
you know, because we always have to like sit down and talk to get. So at that point, it worked for me for my Dalina. Yes. I did that with my Dalina. It worked for me for my Dalina.
Not this well.
Yeah, but this one went crazy.
Yes, it did.
It did crazy, you know. I started it today. Calligraph Jones sent me a verse the next day, and I'm like, and boom,
would
you know.
Be a remix?
Yeah, like I'm currently working on a remix, but like, it's what it is. Whenever the remix comes out, like, cause I when I want something, like, is what I want. If I'm not getting it yet, I want to get a remix, and I want to do like.
Want on the remix?
So currently, I'm working on a UK remix. Do you understand? And there are like options on the remix.
Who's the top of the list?
I think Tion Wayne. I want Tion Wayne on the remix, and I'm trying to reach out to him. Like, if you can see this, Brosy, like, I need you to get on the remix with me because, and I'm working on like other like. So we have like other versions, you know, from the open verse, and like YC's on it, Calligraph Jones is on it from East Africa, you know, Wonder Banton, you know, like Taliban, like amazing people, like talents, you know, from like Nigeria Means, you know, so many talents that like I would be in like a like collection of like, you know, remixes for them, you know. So so the best like it's gonna be like in like capsules. So I'm currently working on that and also working on the new single. The new single is out soon, you know.
When?
In July.
July when?
I don't know, but first week. I don't know the date yet.
I mean, also before we round this up, you mentioned Osage. We didn't speak on that. But what about her?
That's my love. Yes.
What about her?
Osaga is an angel. Like,
How?
she comes into your life.
In what physical term?
In what physical term?
Yeah. Like, what did she do? What did
Like, she's just someone who she really wants to see, like, if she cares about and loves something, she wants to see that thing, like, grow. Like, she wants to be sure that it's growing, like, and she would do whatever she needs to do to see it grow. So that's like,
okay. All right. So album, EP, anytime soon?
yeah, there's probably a project coming.
There's probably, or there is.
There is a project coming.
Okay.
Yeah.
How many records?
I don't know. Like, I won't like to talk about it now.
Why not?
Because like I'm still working on it.
For your win.
No, not even that. I'm like still working on it, and it's still in the like. I'm still like putting elements together, so I don't want to talk about it until I'm done. Yeah.
Okay. All right, man. Yo, appreciate this.
Yeah.
Felt like I was in your heart at some point. All right, guys, you're about to watch the best part. All right. Now, I will not lie to you. I tell you this for free. I've been wondering how the band and King Perryy would merge Go Jamming on a live performance. It's going to be sick. I can't wait. Watch it. Let's go.
What's good, everybody? It's the Continental Boy, King Perryy upon deck, citizen of the world. And we're live on Echoo Room. Make sure you go like, subscribe, and share. Peace.